2 years ago, I felt completely disconnected from myself. I was in this really dark place and I generally didn't see the point in living. But fast forward to now, and I couldn't love my life more if I tried. I love the woman that I have become, and I truly feel that I have embraced the sun energy, the yellow energy that has always been within me. Life can always drag you down at whatever point it wants to, but you have to remember that that sun healing energy that people have always loved you for has always been inside of you. You're the one that can bring it out. No one else can. Healing is all about transforming from the moon to the sun. I think that I'm ready to be seen and heard again, and I hope that you are as well. Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you haven't watched my videos before, then hi, my name is Fleur. This is your space for all things self-development, where we focus on growth, mindset, and becoming the best version of ourselves. So I thought today we could do a video on all about how to become the sun version of you, the yellow version of you, the positive version of you that truly loves everything that there is to love about life. I always used to be this really bubbly and cheerful and smiley person. I was always laughing, I was always saying weird and crazy things, and then somewhere along the way of life and people telling me that I was annoying and that I was too much or too loud, I allowed myself to go back into my bubble and to stop being who I authentically was. And I have honestly had enough of that. I've had enough of us feeling like we have to be the smaller version of ourselves. That's not what we are about on my channel. I want you to be the most authentic version of you that you can possibly be. So today I'm going to be sharing with you 10 tips to radiate sun energy and come back to yourself, because that's the only home that really matters. Tip number 1. I want you to start choosing yourself, okay? This means saying no to the things that you actually want to say no to. So if you have a bunch of people asking you to drink and you know deep down that you don't want to do that and that you want to say no, say no. Who are you saying yes for? Because it's not for you. You know that it's not for you. And so every time that you say yes to someone else, even though deep down you only want to say no, you are giving your energy, your positive, healing, beautiful, angelic energy to somebody else. And they want that energy. They want that sun. You know, like in the UK, it's always grey, and the minute the sun comes out, we're all so happy. That is what you're like for other people. And so the minute that you say, okay, yeah, sure, I'll come out with you guys, even though deep down all you want to do is curl up and read a book, you're giving that energy to those other people. And I'm sorry, but they do not deserve it. You need to start living the life that is right for you. You need to start choosing yourself, okay? Because no one else is going to choose you until you choose yourself first. Honestly, I'd rather live the boring lifestyle that serves me instead of the chaotic lifestyle that might serve other people but makes me feel depressed at the end of the day. Tip number 2, you need to start doing shadow work. If you want to embody the sun healing energy within you, you need to work on the grey areas, the broken parts. And now when I say broken parts, I don't actually mean any part of you is broken. I'm just suggesting that there might be things that maybe you want to work on. There might be embedded trauma that you still know is in you, and you want to work on that and you want to heal from that. And honestly, shadow work for me has always been something that has helped me and has healed me. The best thing that I can advise you to do is to have a little journal and every single day answer maybe 1 to 3 shadow work questions. Now you can find these questions on Pinterest, on Google. It's really easy. Depending on whatever it is that you want to heal, just type in shadow work questions for. So it could be for healing from a breakup, for healing from a toxic household, for healing from rejection, or whatever it might be. You can be really specific, maybe have a conversation with a therapist or with ChatGPT if you want to figure out what those key areas are that you really want to heal. And then shadow work is going to give you that opportunity to not just push away the darker and grayer areas of you, but to work on them, because they are a part of you. The only way you can have this sun radiant energy is by accepting all of you. I want you to ask yourself these questions. What part of your past is haunting you? What still comes up? What things still manage to trigger you even today? Who or what made you feel like you had to hide behind a version of you that isn't truly you? Why do you feel like you don't get to live the happy life you've always wanted to live? This work is all about going to the root of why you fell out of your inner light to begin with. And that is the most important step, because if you don't do this, then all the other steps I'm going to give you will not work. Step number 3 is to wear bright colors. Now, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm wearing this really cute yellow and white checkered top. Let me just stand up for a second so you can have a look. It's so cute. And I recently bought this in Zara with my mum. And now if you know anything about me, or if you just look back to my previous videos, I only ever wear black. If I could just show you my wardrobe right now, about 3/4 of it is black. And bless my dad, he always used to tell me, oh my God, you're so young, like you need to explore your youth and wear these beautiful colors. And I always used to say, yeah, but Dad, I like wearing black. That's just what I am. I like this edgy style. And I don't want to say it was a phase, but I definitely think it was, due to what I was going through in my life. Now, my mom once told me this really cool thing where when she was working in recruitment, she noticed that when people wore brighter colors, they were seen more, they were heard more. But the opposite is said for people that wear darker colours like blacks and greys. She said that this would make that person invisible, and that they would be wearing those colours because they themselves want to be invisible. And when I thought about that, it really made me think, why do I wear blacks and greys? Like, what is my reason as to why I wear those colours? And I actually realised that the reason why I was wearing blacks and greys is because I wanted to be invisible. I didn't want to be seen, and I didn't want to be heard. There was definitely an era of my life where I was wearing bright colours, pinks, yellows, and I was bubbly and I was cheerful and I was laughing, as I previously said, because I wanted to be seen, I wanted to be heard, I wanted people to feel my energy. But when I was putting myself into this box, I even remember saying to people, there's no point me shopping for bright colours because I know they won't suit me. Can we just sit with that for a minute? Because I know I look really good in this top right now, and it is definitely a bright colour, and there is no way in hell I don't suit bright colours. But you know why I thought that way, and why you probably think that way as well, is because you think that you're not beautiful enough, not worthy enough to wear those bright colours, which equals being seen and heard and attracted to by other people. But you do deserve that. You do deserve to have your light seen. I want to give you a challenge. The next time that you go clothes shopping, I want you to say you're not going to buy whites, greys, blacks, beige, and you are going to buy yourself a bright colour. It's going to be difficult. Let me tell you now, when I bought this top, it was difficult for me, and although I think it's really cute and really pretty, it's not something I'm used to, and it's definitely going to be hard for me to go out and wear these bright colours knowing I'm most likely going to be seen more than if I was wearing blacks and greys. But you need to do this for yourself, because if you can do it for yourself, if you can show up for yourself, you will have that trust in you, and you need to be able to have that trust in you in order to have this healed energy again. Tip number 4 is to compliment others, but also to receive the compliments that are given to you. I definitely think that a massive part of sun energy is giving compliments to other people. And I've started this new thing recently where whenever I'm traveling or I'm just going out and about, if I see someone, a stranger for example, and I think, oh my God, her dress is really cute, or I love her makeup, I will instantly just tell them. I won't even keep it to myself, because if I know that if I do that, and I know that if I keep it to myself, I'm most likely not going to pluck up the courage to actually tell them. I want you to try this out. The next time that you see a stranger, and the next time you think of a compliment in your head, just tell them. Why are we keeping the compliments that we think about other people to ourselves when we know that we have the ability to make someone else's day? Don't you want to do that? Don't you want to put a smile on someone else's face? That is what sun energy is about. The sun makes us smile. The sun makes us feel healed and warm. And if you want to give that energy to other people, you need to be open about the way that you feel about them. So this could be your friends, your family members, just strangers that you see. There was this one time I was actually going to Paddington train station, and there was this couple. They could have been friends, or I don't know, siblings, and the guy was taking a picture of the girl, and she looked so beautiful. And as I was walking past when she was just finished taking the picture, I said, "You look so beautiful today." And the smile that she gave me was so worth it. She was actually in shock. She wasn't expecting it. And those moments literally give me an adrenaline boost, a serotonin boost. They make me feel like I am benefiting someone else's else's life, like I'm providing to the community. So if you want to be able to radiate that sun energy, I definitely recommend being open about the compliments that you always keep to yourself, even the ones that you feel about your friends. The amount of times I've thought something positive about one of my friends and just not told them because I didn't feel it was necessary is ridiculous. And now I'm just telling them all the time. I love your hair today. Oh my God, I love your makeup. Your outfit is so cute. Just tell them, because you will make a difference. But also, as well as telling people compliments, you need to be receiving them. Instead of saying, no, oh my God, but you're so pretty, when someone compliments you, I want you to say thank you and leave it at that. Thank you. Or maybe even start up a conversation. If someone says they like your jumper, your hoodie, your dress, you could say, oh, thank you. This person made it for me. Or I bought it from this place. Or I actually got it on sale. And then you can start up a new conversation from that. But you need to stop saying, no. Like, I don't always look like this. I usually look like a mess. Who cares? Who cares? Do you think you care about how that person that you've just complimented looked about 5 minutes ago? No. You think they look good now, and that's all that matters. So do you think the person that's giving you that compliment cares? They don't. So just say thank you and move on with your day. Tip number 5 is gratitude. Now, you would have heard a lot about gratitude. It's going around a lot in the self-development world, and also on my channel, I'm always talking about gratitude. It is one of the most important things I have ever chosen to incorporate into my life. If you don't already know, there's this thing called the lucky girl syndrome or lucky guy syndrome. I'm just going to say lucky person syndrome because I think this is open to absolutely everyone. This is when you notice the small things that happen in your life that you're grateful for, and then you say, I am so lucky. The universe loves me. God loves me. And I love doing this. It could be as simple as, it's warm today, it's sunny today. The universe loves me. The universe wants me to have a good day. Or one thing I really love to do is if I'm going to a traffic light and I want to cross the road and it instantly goes green without me even having to press the thing to be able to cross the road, I'll say, I'm lucky. The universe loves me. And I even do this with my best friend when we're walking around, and it's always so funny. So honestly, you need to just start putting it out there, because I noticed that I went from this person that was so positive. I always had something good to say in every situation, to the point where it would actually piss people off and annoy people, to someone who would just consistently complain. And I know that that was because of the depression that I was in and my negative mindset that I had about life, but also because people used to think that my positivity was annoying. And so because they thought it was annoying, I thought, well, you know what, let me just be negative like everybody else. And then I noticed that when one bad thing would happen in my life, like in a day, I would think negatively. I'd be like, oh my God, I'm so unlucky, bad things always happen to me. And then another thing would happen, and then another thing would happen, and then another thing would happen, until eventually it would turn into a bad day. But what I want you to understand is a bad day does not equal a bad week. A bad week does not equal a bad month, and a bad month does not equal a bad year. You can turn a bad day into a good day. You hold that power. No one else holds that power, okay? I'm going to give you an example. This morning did not go my way. I went to fill up my water bottle. The water went everywhere. I went to make a smoothie. The smoothie went everywhere. Then lastly, I went to take the bin out, and the bin juices went all over my New Balance trainers. I tried to get the stain out, it didn't get out, so I had to put it in the washing machine with some like net bags. And then once it was done, although they were clean, they now have small holes inside of them. So I've had to buy these like little cushion things that I can stick on the inside of the trainer, and that is something that can definitely bring me down, because these shoes mean the world to me, especially because they were bought for me from my dad. And although I'm trying to fix them and I really am trying to take care of them, that is definitely something that I could turn into a, oh my God, this day is so bad, nothing goes my way. And every time something bad happened to me this morning, I just kept saying, it's okay. Maybe this is happening for a reason. Like, for example, I was meant to go to the gym this morning, but then I wasn't able to because I ended up having to use my towels to clean up the water in the kitchen, which would have meant that I would have had no towels to use when I had a shower when I came home from the gym. So I was like, okay, I'll have to go later. But then now I can't go later because my trainers are currently wet. So clearly that means there might be a reason why I shouldn't be going to the gym today that I don't know. There might be a bigger reason that I can never be aware of. So instead of me saying I'm so unlucky, I say, thank you, God, thank you, universe, for protecting me for unforeseen circumstances, for things that I am not aware of. Thank you for redirecting my day into the way that is clearly meant to go. So don't say you're unlucky. Don't say that bad things always happen to you, because the minute you say that, you are literally manifesting those bad things to come into your day. Like one bad thing happens, you say that, and then another 10 things will come into your day, and then suddenly that day will turn into a bad week, will turn into a bad month, will turn into a bad year. So you need to have control. What I love to do is I love to listen to positive affirmations whenever something like this happens. So after the water bottle situation happened, I listened to some positive affirmations and tried to get myself into that positive mindset, and that has really helped me, because I'm going to tell you now, it's only 10 a.m. I'm not about to make this a bad day. It's going to be a good day because it's in my control. Tip number 6 is I want you to do the things that make you happy and reconnect with your inner child. Allow yourself to be messy and chaotic and to go back to what really brought so much joy into your life. Currently, I've been loving the whimsy aesthetic, the things where you're basically turning your mundane, ordinary life into something whimsical. You're making the ordinary things, like making a cup of tea, or maybe even the bad things that are happening in your day, whimsy. You're allowing them to be exciting for you. I actually saw this one comment where I was like, every time there's a bad driver, I just pretend that they're on their way to go help their wife give birth. And I just think that that's so funny. I love that so much. There's so many comments that I've seen on TikTok of people giving ideas about how they live a whimsy life. And honestly, it just brings so much joy into my life. And it just goes to show that the reason why positive people are able to be positive is not because they haven't been through anything, but because they have, and they know what to do with that pain and how to move on and how to carry on and how to romanticize life and how to bring that whimsy into your life. In fact, if you would like a video about how to make your life whimsical, then drop a comment down below and I will definitely make a video like that in the future. I do have a video about how to romanticize life and fall back in love with life, so I definitely do recommend watching that video because I do think it will be helpful. What I love to do is read romance novels and watch rom-coms, okay, because they might be cringy, but that's what brings happiness into my life. That's what makes me reconnect with my inner child. I've always loved romances. As a little girl, I loved anything to do with weddings, romance, relationships, marriages, and that's what made me happy. And although I never had a great perception of love, I have tried to heal that perception of love. And watching things like romances and rom-coms sort of lights that fire in me, even if the men I'm falling in love with are written by women. But whatever, we move on from that. It's just what makes me happy. So even if what you love is cringy, who is it cringy to? Society? People in your life that you don't really care about? At the end of the day, as long as it's not cringy to you, which means it's not cringy to me, because the things that you think are not cringy, I don't think are cringy either. So you need to start living for you. Like I said earlier, live for you and do the things that make you happy instead of what makes other people happy and what isn't considered cringe to other people. Number 7 is to listen to positive music. Now, this is another thing that I always talk about in my YouTube videos, but I do think it's really important. I tend to do this thing where if I'm feeling a bit low, I will listen to sad music and really put myself in my feels. And although that is great for a good crying session in the shower, it's not great for helping me to be happy again, and it will literally make me have a mental breakdown. So I notice that whenever I feel sad or whenever something bad has happened, I need to put on some positive music. So I actually did that this morning. I put on this soft feminine playlist, which I'm really falling in love with right now. But you can make a playlist full of all of the happy songs that just bring so much positivity and joy into your life. And you don't have to delete the sad playlist. I definitely do think that's something I need to do eventually. Right now, I just can't get myself to do that because I have an attachment to it. But eventually, I do want to delete them because there's no reason to force yourself into sadness. I don't know why we do that. We romanticize sadness and then we force ourselves into it instead of trying to make ourselves happy, because sadness is where we find comfort. We find comfort in our pain, but we don't find comfort in happiness because we're not used to that happiness. But if you allow yourself to become used to it and allow yourself to be used to this happy life that you've always wanted to live, for this positive energy you've always wanted to have, then it will be much easier for you. So start listening to positive music every day. Start your day off with positive music, with high frequencies. I love to listen to frequencies in the evening, or I've even started watching these really beautiful like singing videos in the evening where I'll be doing my skincare and I'll just have them on in the background. Another thing that I definitely recommend you checking out, because honestly they're just so calming and they really help me to reconnect with myself and to just be listening to something in the background but without it actually taking over my mind and my thoughts. But listening to that positive music is definitely going to make a massive difference in your mood and will allow you to carry on with your day in a much more positive way. Number 8, and a big one, is to start creating instead of consuming. I definitely think that this is the age of consuming. We as teenagers, young adults, all we know to do is to consume. We will go on social media for up to 10 hours a day, and we won't even allow ourselves to have one original thought, to have one creative thought that we have made independently without our phone getting in the way. And even for me as a YouTuber, it's not great for me to always be consuming content, because then I can't differentiate between the content that I want to make and the content that other people are making, and maybe the audience wants to see more than what makes me happy. And although as a content creator, I do need to make videos that I know are going to help other people, I always want to make videos that I can relate to. And so for example, with this video and radiating sun energy, this is literally something that I'm currently going through, and I only ever want to make videos with things that I am currently going through and things that I want to share to you with my own experience. But consistently consuming is not helping that. So I definitely think that allowing yourself to step away from social media and just have a moment to yourself where you allow your thoughts to be original and not just all the TikTok slang that's going on and all of these funny memes, although it's great, our brains are literally rotting. Our brains are rotting with all of this information that we get. You see all of these people's lives, right? We're not meant to see that many people's lives, and you start off your day like that. You're starting off your day with comparison, with low motivation, with these negative thoughts that you don't want, and it's not going to help you to get up and start your day. And so as much as it's important to make sure that you start off your day and end your day with not having your phone, during the day, try to just connect with yourself, to connect with your present moment, and to create. We were not put on this world to consume. We were put on this world to connect and to create. Those are our two pillars. That is what builds who we are as humans. You, the person behind this screen, has something to offer to this world. You are too busy analyzing what someone else has to offer online to even see that. I personally think that the world doesn't need more consumers. It needs more creators. And you have something beautiful to shine. I can see that in you, so just let it shine. Tip number 9, and a personal favorite of mine, is to let yourself be loud, okay? Because I'm so sick of people telling others that they are too much. Too much for who, sweetie? Who are you too much for? Because I bet you that they are just jealous of you for having this loud, positive energy that you have. Don't let them take it away from you. Don't let them take it away from you. Don't let them steal that energy, okay? You are so beautiful when you shine and when you laugh, when you smile, and people can see that. People can feel it from a mile away, and they are jealous of it. You know how hard it is to radiate positive energy? You know how hard it is to choose the positive, happy path over the one of negative and sadness? Of course people are going to be annoyed. Of course people are going to be frustrated. Of course they're going to say that you're too much. But you aren't. You are just enough. You are perfect just the way you are. And one day you're going to meet people who are going to love you for who you are and not who you pretend to be. Okay? Just let that sink in. You're going to find people who are going to love you for who you are and not who you pretend to be. So I'm sorry, don't water yourself down for someone who isn't even offering the friendship or relationship that you are seeking for. And number 10, and arguably the most important one, is that if you want to radiate sun energy, it really just comes down to the way that you choose to live your life. I can give you all of these tips, but they won't help as long as you don't choose to be happy. It is a choice that you have to make. It is not a choice that I can make for you, or that your friend can make for you, or that your partner or that your family can make for you. You have to decide that you are worthy of being happy, and then be happy. I know it sounds really stupid, like, oh, well, I'm really depressed and you're telling me to be happy. It doesn't work like that. But it does. You know, when you're going through a depressive episode, the only person that can get you out of that is you. You can have all of these people trying to help you, but until you decide to carry on with your life and to get up and keep moving, no one is going to be able to do that for you. So it is the same with living a happy life. If you want to have and radiate the sun energy, you have to decide that you can be that person. Don't bottle yourself down. Don't say, yeah, but I'm meant to be the moon energy. I'm meant to be all cool and sad and mysterious. You can be mysterious, but you can be bubbly and cheerful and radiate that sun energy as well. Don't hold yourself down to this depressive lifestyle that you've always had. You deserve to let go, to explode, and to be beautiful, and to live this happy life that you've always wanted to live. But you have to make that decision. I can't make it for you. I want you to remember that this journey, this self-development journey, is not about becoming someone different. When I say become the higher version of yourself, become the better version of yourself, really that's just becoming the most authentic version of yourself, which means to remember who you have always been. Remember who you were as a child. Remember who was bullied. Remember who you felt needed to be pushed down inside you. That inner child is still inside of you, but it's so pushed down and it's screaming and it's pushing against the walls and the barriers to be let out of the box that you have put them in. Let them out. Because you cannot be happy until you decide to let them out. Choose yourself. Love yourself, and then others will start to see the sun that is so clearly within you. Be your own yellow, and then before you know it, you'll shine so bright that you'll be everyone else's yellow as well. And that's it for today's video. I really hope that these 10 tips have helped you to understand how you can start radiating this beautiful sun energy that I know has always been within you and can still shine. If you liked this video, then please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more content like this, and maybe share this video with someone that you know has that sun energy that they're just trying to hide. It might be able to help them as much as it might have helped you. See you next Sunday at 12 p.m. Bye bye, my lovelies. I aspire to be like this in my life. This is who I aspire to be. And I think you should inspire to be them as well.